Hey, good morning to everybody. Look at what we have here. We have a 2016 Hyundai Ioniq. Now listen up. Hi. This Hyundai Ioniq came in a tow truck, but if you guys remember a couple of episodes ago that we were working on a high voltage battery from the Ioniq, it's actually this vehicle. Now, the reason is the battery completely drained it because the vehicle was driving on EV mode, and they drained it because the vehicle was not engaging. The real problem is that for some reason the clutch is not engaged, so we need to diagnose what's going on in this case. We fixed the battery, the vehicle starts again, the battery is fully charged. We had to do a very slow charge in order to not damage the battery. Remember that the cells were a little swollen. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. In this episode we're gonna fully diagnose the vehicle and check it out, see what's going on. Okay, so stay tuned and we will continue then. I'll see you. Okay, so I already hooked up the scan tool. Let me show. Okay, the vehicle starts and immediately showing you hybrid system, turn off engine. Okay, I'm sorry, check hybrid system. You see the red light blinking, check engine light. Okay, let's see what we have here. So we have hybrid control unit, low DC to DC converter, P17EB engine clutch system leakage fail. A second, let's confirm leakage fail. Hi again. Okay, we have to understand first of all that Hyundai Ioniq uses 3 clutches. So we use a dual clutch system, okay, to engage the gears, to shift the gears, okay, and this vehicle uses actually it's not automatic transmission, it's a gearbox what it uses, but it works with the dual clutch system. But we have a third clutch to disengage and engage the transmission from the internal combustion engine. Remember that this vehicle can drive in EV mode, but for some reason, I don't know, she doesn't work with the dual clutch system, but just one independent normal clutch system that works with hydraulic. However, it works with an actuator unit, but it uses the very same thing: a pressure plate, the clutch disc, release bearing with the slave cylinder. Okay, and I think that over time it's possible that probably the slave cylinder failing or the the actuator probably failing. Okay, so that is exactly what we're gonna check out. But so far, engine clutch system leakage not looking very good. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna turn off the system. I'm going to turn the ignition on and let me do a quick test to make sure. First of all, let me check the fluid and let me check if the clutch is working. Okay, so let me engage that with the scan tool and we will continue then. Okay, ignition on, engine off. I'm going to clear the fault codes. So I just want to special function and make sure compression pressure test removal of air from engine clutch hydraulic pressure line. Okay, it's giving me an error. Let's check the fluid. Give me a second, we'll continue. All right, so checking the fluid right now. A second, let's see if I can put the camera right there. Woo, there it is. Can you see it? Whoa! All those bubblings, where are they coming from? Now the thing is, we don't have any access to that system from here. Second, there it is. Okay, now the actuator is working. Now, I'll be very honest with you. The clutch reservoir was completely empty. It had nothing, absolutely nothing. So what we're gonna do is activating, because I'm activating with the scan tool. Okay, it seems like it's bubbling, so it's kind of like activating, but it's getting air. I don't know why, but it was empty. So let's make a visual inspection first. Let me put the vehicle in the lift, let me raise it up, and let's see if we have probably a leak. We don't know. Let me check. All right, we will continue then. Okay, so take a look at what I realized. So obviously I got to take out this undercover, but I find something very suspicious. So because I was activating the clutch, what I found, we definitely have a leak somewhere. Okay, so let me take off the cover and let's find out where that leak is coming from. Okay, because obviously the clutch is hydraulic. It works with a small mechatronic unit, but if you have a leak, obviously you won't get a pressure, thus trouble code. So let me take out the cover. We will continue then. My suspicions were correct. Okay, so I took up the undercover. Let me share with you. I think we found the problem. Let me show you. All right, so we're under the vehicle. Take a look at what we have here. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Oh boy. So this is definitely, yeah, this is brake fluid. So probably the release bearing, the slave cylinder that it's attached to the release bearing, it gone. In other words, those are not good news. We are gonna have to take out the transmission. Yes or yes, that's not discussable. Anyway, so this is definitely gonna be a good opportunity to show you guys the transmission out. Obviously when I take out the transmission, I take everything, the engine out, so it will be easier. Okay, so there's nothing to do. Okay, we're gonna have to take out the transmission. It's just probably the slave cylinder, replace it, and that's it. So obviously taking the process of taking out the transmission, everything is just disassembly. Take out the subframe, take out all the components already. Obviously before you do that, you have to remember, you have to shut down the hybrid system, follow the safety protocols. Okay, remember, it's high voltage where you work, but there's sadly nothing to do. We have definitely a clutch fluid leak between the engine and the transmission, which is telling us that probably clearly we have a slave cylinder that it's gone. The other thing is that the computer detects that, because the mechatronic, this unit, also has a pressure sensor that detects if you don't have the proper pressure, bye-bye, you will trigger a fault code. So let's take it out. I don't know how much time it's gonna take me, and we will continue then. Okay, so look what we did before we continue. Okay, we disconnect the service plug that goes right here, stored. This is the battery that we were working for, that we were working before. And we also, because we're gonna take out all the components in the front, we disconnect the main positive and main negative outlet that comes from the battery to the inverter. So then, now that we know there's absolutely no voltage, we can easily clear all this high voltage connection with absolutely no problem. So just make sure, if you're by chance you're doing this type of work, always disconnect the high voltage system first before anything. Okay, you never know. Remember, inside the inverter there's a huge, powerful, strong capacitor. Okay, so that transmission is going down. There's nothing we can do. Okay, so it's gonna be very interesting for you guys to check out the system, because we're talking about 1, 2, 3 clutches. Oh my god, I can't believe it, but that's how it is. So we will continue then. Hey, oh, look at what we have now. Yes. Okay, everything is off. Everything, the inverter, all the reservoirs, all the hoses. As you can see, the complete electrical system is off. All right, even some of the high voltage cables, except the one to attach it to the electric motor, which, as you can see, the Ioniq has the electric motor sandwiched between the clutches. Okay. Woo! It's sweaty here. Remember, this is the Caribbean. All right. So the thing is, there are many ways for you to take out the transmission, but that's because I like to do a little more efficient and check everything. I always just take out everything. I take out the subframe, all the suspension, and that engine together with the transmission. It's coming out completely. All right. So once it will be easier for me to assemble the clutch and make sure everything all seals, everything it's fine. Okay. So I have my good friend Carlos over here. He's gonna give you a hand taking out all the big components. Okay, but this has to go on. But I just wanted to show you a quick review of all the components that we have access once we take off the inverter, all the covers, and the electrical system. So let me show you. Okay. Now, as you remember, this vehicle uses 3 clutch systems. All right. So this one over here, this is the water pump, the hybrid system water pump. But right here is the dual clutch system, the dual clutch actuator. This is the clutch reservoir and the clutch actuator. The electric motor with the cable that goes to the inverter, and these over here, look at this size of this mechatronic. These are the gear shifters. Okay, so we have a clutch, dual clutch. Oh, I would say too many mechatronics together. I'm not saying it's bad quality, because usually I never seen so far problem with the gear shifting, none of those things. So far the only problem I've seen with this type of transmission over time, just the clutch. So far so good. Okay, so let's continue seeing. All right, so once we saw the mechatronic, let's see what else we have. The coolant distribution, I suppose there's the thermostat, everything. Look what we have over here, the EGR actuator, the high pressure fuel pump. You have to remember this engine is this is a GDI that uses high pressure fuel system. Okay, motor generator number 1 or hybrid starter generator. Everything is disconnected already. All the hoses are off, and then this engine is ready to go now. Oh, look. So we will continue. This is going to be a very, very interesting. Now, one thing, if you're liking all this content in this channel, please don't forget, hit that red button over there, like and subscribe. You gotta support Hybrid Solution Diagnostic as a channel made for you. The very best, unique content you will ever find when it comes to hybrid and electric vehicle. And the other thing I want to remind you guys is that the new cycle of online courses is going to begin right now in August. Okay, we have about so far 8 students sign in. We're going to try to reach at least 10. That's enough, not more than 10. All right, so if you want to have your full online training courses, of course, one of the very special that we have is the high voltage battery training. Okay, you will get your certificate directly from us, from Hybrid Solution Diagnostic, and I will teach you everything you need to know to become a great technician in this technology. Okay, so hopefully I should get back to you once this engine, the transmission is off. So we will continue then. Yes, we're back here again, and the engine and the transmission is completely down. Okay, I actually made it a short video, so take a look at it, the previous episode, doing a quick review of the engine, all the parts, as well as the transmission. But so far, if you're liking this content, don't forget, hit that red button, like and subscribe. All right, so let's continue, because we have a lot of work to do. Now the thing is, I can clearly see, well, we have the engine, the transmission completely out. As you can see there, the complete unit. Obviously I had to take out the complete subframe, and everything will go down. But the first thing I'm going to remove, obviously I have to remove the transmission from the engine. But let's take a look at the dimensions of the transmission. This is the part where the gearbox is, and the differential, the final drive in the back. We can see clearly over here that here's the dual clutch system right here. Okay, and we could say is about in this proportion of the transmission. But right here we see we have the electric motor, and finally at the very end should be the clutch assembly. But then we have to take it out, and the first procedure to take it out is to take out the clutch actuator, because it's a very delicate component. All right, let's take a look. All right, now I'm pretty sure you guys should remember that I have a video changing and cleaning the clutch actuator, which is this one. Okay, so I'm removing the part, but just removing this 3 bolts over here, and this part should come out very carefully. And there you go. And there is a complete rubber seal over there, that this is supposed to be pressurized over there, because remember, that's hydraulic pressure that this unit pushes inside. And there is supposed to be the inside, of course, the clutch unit. So that is the first component I'm gonna take out, because I'm gonna leave it outside first. But let me show you. This vehicle definitely involved in an accident. You can clearly see that it has, oh boy. But anyway, it's been some epoxy glue over there. Okay, so I'm gonna put this away very carefully, and we'll finally begin to disassemble all this, because we still have a lot to take out before disconnecting the engine from the transmission. All right, so let's continue then. I found something very interesting that I want to share with you guys. Give me a second. All right, so this disassembling all the components, I took out the speed sensor, the crankshaft sensor, and look how much flooded of, you know what this is? It's clutch fluid, it's brake fluid. Everything is completely flooded inside the clutch assembly. I'm really hoping that the clutch disc and pressure plate didn't suffer. All right, sorry, we continue. So the other thing is that between the engine and the transmission, there's no drain, there's no draining hole, nothing. So I have a suspicious that this between the engine and this transmission, because there's no draining hole, I think this is flooded as hell. So it's gonna be interesting to see, but I still have some to disassemble. Then I'm gonna have to put this in the crane to lift it up and take away the transmission. So we will continue. We have a long way to go. I'm taking it out, separating, and look at how much fluid. See my point? Oh crap. So it was completely flooded inside. I don't understand why they're not making a drain hole inside there. But no comments. Let me just keep separating the engine further. We will continue then. Woo! Sweaty as it gets. Here is the Caribbean, so it's hot every year. Okay, so we found the problem. Wanna check it? Stick around. All right. So we successfully separate the engine from the transmission, and as you can see, this is the pattern for the crankshaft sensor. This is just a regular, normal pressure plate and the disc inside. But look how much flooded it is. And once I took it out, separated, as you saw in the video previous video, look how much clutch fluid. And here we are. So this is the clutch, the release bearing, as well as the slave cylinder, but everything comes together. And as you can see, oh holy crap, it's completely melted, completely destroyed. The unit is completely destroyed. All right, here we go. Got it. Look, yeah, the bearing simply just went bad, and then of course it melted and got stuck. Now the problem is, now this is, as I said, this is a slave cylinder, receive the pressure, and this pushes back and forth to pressurize the disc and disengage the engine from the transmission. But then if this gets stuck, it doesn't matter if it receives pressure, it's never gonna work at all. This receives pressure through this line directly to the clutch actuator fluid. Now there's nothing else we can do over here. We're gonna have to take this out and replace this complete assembly, and of course clean out of this. But I'm still very impressed that we don't have any draining hole over here, so if you get a leak or whatever, everything's gonna get stuck in here. Now you can clearly see the mark of the level. Look, I'm not lying. Unbelievable. Now whether if you're driving the vehicle as well, you can clearly see all the marks. All right, anyway, so let me take out the part. Oh, sweaty. Let me take out the part. Let me clean the assembly and let's see. Let's get the replacement and assemble right away, so we can put this back together hopefully today. Okay, so we will continue then. All right, so we can clearly see the part. I took it out already, and it's completely melted. Well, the good thing is the shaft, is the base, everything comes together. So I was hoping that this part wasn't anything attached to the transmission, which is great. And let's take a look now. So this main shaft, you know what this is? This is the electric motor directly right here. Sandwich electric motor between the engine and the transmission. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fully clean everything. Hopefully the new part brings this line as well, because it would be definitely risky to keep this part over here. So just gonna clean everything. All right, leave this as good as new. All right, so we will continue then. Stick around. So we got the original replacement part. Let me show you. All right, a sec. All right, so it's 41073 2B001 concentric slave cylinder and the engine clutch, made in Hungary. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, let's confirm the same part number. All right, take it out. Let's see what it brings. Okay, it's the complete unit. We just compare it to the old one. Well, yep, definitely the same. You see? Yes, but I'm kind of wondering, because this one, I'm trying to take this rubber out, but it's giving me a little trouble. So let me continue, because I'm gonna replace this completely. Not a chance I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna use this old tube there. Definitely it's better to replace it complete. It's too much risk, so don't push it. Let me take it out. We will continue then. As you can see, the new clutch, slave cylinder and release bearing is installed. We lubricate the shaft already, but unfortunately I had to keep the old tube with them, because there's no way I could take this out. Because the problem is, I don't know if I'd be able to find it. I've been trying to make some calls even to the dealers and nobody telling me anything about the part. So what I did, I just pressurized, see if we have any leak there by chance, and there's nothing going on. So it should be fine. So I'm just gonna leave the old small piece of tube with the new assembly. Okay, so then as you can see, the release bearing, this is how it works. That's it. She receives the pressure from the clutch actuator and this is how we engage and disengage the internal combustion engine to the transmission of the Hyundai Ioniq as well as the Kia Niro. So I had to clean everything, even the disc, because it was fully completely flooded with brake fluid. So I hope it should be fine. Now it's all the procedure backwards, so I'm just gonna have to assemble everything. Okay, so I really hope you guys are enjoying this content, because this is unique content, of course, right here in Hybrid Solution Diagnostic, which is a channel made for you. Okay guys, we're done for now, because I'm gonna have to begin to assemble. It's just assembling everything back, and then just do the normal reprogram with the scan tool. You need to bleed the system. She will take out the air by itself and do the resolver adaptation. So you actually don't really need to see that. That's anything that can a good bidirectional scan tool can do. So I really hope you guys enjoy this great content here in Hybrid Solution Diagnostic. There's way much more great content coming. Just stick around, because you will love everything coming. And the other thing is, let me remind you, the new cycle of online training course to become a hybrid and electric vehicle technician, as well as the hybrid battery training, is gonna begin next week, August. So it's gonna be great. We're only attending 10 students every month, because otherwise I will go crazy. The secret of the great course is because it's direct contact. There won't be any videos, there won't be nothing. It's direct with me online. So I'm always having time for at least 10 students every month. It's great. So probably I'm gonna post hopefully tonight one of my good student, which is it's a very beginner, and he had his new customer, and he had his first successfully repair in a Prius. Okay, so I'll be posting that in the social media, so stick around, and I'll see you guys in the very next episode. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.